For members, I do believe that you are well, and indeed you've been well since our last meeting in just a similar platform. Allow me to take this opportunity to welcome you into my today's presentation, where as I had promised in my last video, we shall be making some modifications on our earlier circuit, and this was our earlier circuit, and be able to realize a circuit that is giving us a smooth transition from one color to the other. We want the colors to fade out smoothly from one to the other. And if I talk of these colors, I said these colors are the red, green, and the blue. So that is what we shall be doing in our today's demo. Now, before we set off, allow me remind you, if maybe you are new into this channel, I would like you to subscribe to my channel, give a like, share, and also click the notification bell so that you may be among the first people to get notified whenever we have a new upload on our channel. I'm Nelson. I forgot to introduce myself, but nevertheless I've just shared my name. I'm Nelson, and once again, allow me to invite you into my channel on coding in TINKERCAD. Just as the name suggests, we are working from TINKERCAD. Now I think we are fully set to start our session. And just as I've introduced, today we are just going to do slight modification on our earlier circuit, the circuit that we had created to generate the three primary colors. And as we saw in that session, that is the previous session, the lights here, these are RGB. We have the colors changing from red to blue to green, and as they transit from one color to the other, the change is taking place instantly. But in our case, we want to do some modifications on that to realize some smooth transition, to have these colors starting from a low or their minimum levels of brightness, then increase to their climax, then again decrease to some level, and at that point we have the next color chipping in. So we want the colors to fade out smoothly and change from one to the other in that manner. And for us to realize that, we must do some modifications here. But before that, I must mention something here. In our previous session here, this output that we are getting here, we are having an on and off sort of system, whereby we have the red color on, then it goes off, blue on, it goes off, green on, then it goes off. Such a system we may refer it to as a digital system, a system that is giving out a digital signal. A digital signal is a signal that is only activated at specific intervals of time, and in our case here, this is not an exception. We have the red color turning on at specific time, then we have blue, and the same case applies to the green color. In today's session, we want to convert this. Instead of having it turning on or behaving like a digital signal or a digital system, we want it to be an analog. Remember, in signals we have two types of signals. Basically, we have the analog and we have the digital, which is also known as the discrete time signal, and for the analog it is also referred to as continuous time analog. The reason why we have them having those names just derived from their behaviors. For the digital, the values are given out at specific intervals or instances of time, whereas for the analog we have it being referred to as continuous because we are able to obtain values in a continuous manner. For instance, let me demonstrate using this signal here. As you can see here, the one at the top here, this is an example of a analog signal or a continuous signal, whereas at the bottom here we have a digital signal or a discrete signal. Let's go back to the continuous type of signal. In continuous, we have all the values being covered here, and that results into this smooth curve. Any point between here and here, you are able to obtain it from the curve. If I want 11, I can get its value. If I want 11.1, I can get its value. If I want the 14, I can still get its value. So for the continuous signal, we are able to get all the values between specific instances of time or specific values. But if we come to discrete, that is not the case. We only get the values at specific points or instances of time. So if we need, for example here, we only have a value there, then we have some blank, we get another value, some blank, we get another one, and that continues all the way, and then the signal is out. Now, if we are to consider our earlier system or our earlier circuit that I demonstrated on how to generate the three primary colors, it takes this format here. If the signal was to be plotted, it would assume a similar curve as you can see here. For instance, if we are to assume that this represented the LED, the red LED on, we have it on, then after it goes off, then after very short time we have the next LED being turned on, it goes off. Between this point we have the LED off, then we proceed to the next LED, it turns off, we go to the next LED. This turning off in our case, we may not be able to notice it clearly because of the time difference. It is very small for our case. Now, in today's session, we want, instead of having signal of this nature, instead of having our LED turning on and off, we want to have it turning, or rather giving us a continuous output in terms of brightness or light. For instance, if we have turned on our LED, let me start here, let me take this curve. We want, if we are turning on our LED, we want the brightness to start from the lowest level, we have it go up that way, then up to the climax. Then again it starts decreasing, to decreases to maybe some level there. Then at that point we will now activate, or rather bring in the next type of color, maybe that if it is blue. So between at this point we are bringing on the other color so that we may have a smooth transition between this red and the blue. This is also to ensure that this red light does not go off. So we have the color changing smoothly from red, then it fades out as it activates and assumes blue color. So the blue color just does the same. Starts from a very low level, then it goes up all the way to the climax, then after that it again goes down that way, and again at some point it activates. The other light is activated, that is the other color, I mean, it is activated again. It starts from a very low level, then grows up all the way to the climax, decreases again, and the process repeats itself in that manner. So that is exactly what I intended to demonstrate in regard to the signals. I think we can now go back to our presentation here. To achieve that curve, that smooth curve or that analog signal, we need to apply a technique by the name pulse with modulation. Pulse with modulation, or PWM, it's a technique that enables us to convert a digital signal, a signal that was given as values at specific intervals, to a signal that we are able to obtain values at any point within the scale. So to do that, we first need to do some modifications on our connection. We need to connect our pins, the three pins of our LED, to the PWM pins of our Arduino. And what are those pins? Those pins, we have the first pin is pin number 3 here. Second pin